Hello everyone, and welcome to my tutorial on how to beat every single level in Super Mario Land in one sitting under 29 minutes. This video can also serve as a tutorial on how to beat the game any percent, or simply the first mode, known as Normal Mode, in under 13 minutes. Let's get right into it. In 1-1, do a full jump off these blocks and land on this Goomba. Next, run off the blocks. At the fly, run under him. If you run off this pipe, you will land on the question mark block. Jump off this question mark block. Run under these last two flies. After running off this tree, do small jumps and make your way over this Goomba. Jump before the one tile gap and land on the elevator. Do a big jump off that elevator and onto these blocks. Run under the first three bun-buns, and jump over the fourth. Jump in between the two Goombas on the staircase. Jump on the first elevator and onto the second one. Run off the second one to land on the third one. Jump at the very edge of this tree to barely miss this Koopa Troopa. Do a small jump here to avoid hitting the bun-bun. At the start of 1-3, jump as late as you can before bonking into this wall. Get close to this pipe with the plant in it before doing a big jump onto the second pipe. If you run off these blocks, you will land on the Gayo. Take the middle path here. Bop on this Gayo and jump over the second one. Then, jump over the World 1 boss and hit the button. On this platform, you want to jump at around the middle point, so you hit the first fish and land on the second as well. For the bridge, run under the first two fish and jump over the third and fifth. Do a small jump under this platform here and run off it. Do a small jump under this fish, and do a big jump over these two Goombas. Bop this middle Goomba and jump as you grab the final coin. You should kill at least two of these fish. Land on this specific platform. Once the fish are out of your way, jump onto the next platform and wait until this fireball goes over you to move onward. Jump over this Uraranboo and run under the second one. After this Koopa, jump up top. Bopping this Mecha Bun can be challenging. If you run off these blocks, you'll land on the Koopa and following Mecha Bun. When you get to these 4 question mark blocks, stop on the first one and jump over the top block to get around this Boo. Make sure you are completely stopped before trying to jump over the blocks. "2-3 is the first of 4 auto-scrollers in this speedrun. Watch out for where enemies spawn in. I don't recommend grabbing the star here or in 4-3. There is a rather rare chance that the game could crash from using star power. At the boss, stay to the bottom of the screen and quickly shoot out all of these blocks to grab the button. You don't need to kill the boss. It is ideal to enter 3-1 with a mushroom equipped. If you don't, then this block will have a mushroom in it. Jump in between these blocks, and then jump just before this Koopa Troopa. Land on this middle elevator, and jump to the third elevator. Land on this Koopa, but be quick since he will explode and hurt you if you are right next to him. When you land on this Koopa, hold left to stop yourself completely before moving on. If you have momentum when stomping this Koopa, you could fall into the pit. Do a big jump over the Toko Toko and Koopa Troopa. Jump in between these 2 blocks. Then, jump right before this question mark block. Do a full jump at the end of these blocks to land on the Battletoads, which will bounce you to the next set of coins. On these blocks, position yourself so Mario's right foot is directly on the halfway mark. Once this rock reaches the middle of the cloud, run and jump to it. Jump off the rock and land on the bullet bill. Next, stand on the left half of these blocks. Stand on this rock until you line up with the faces in the background. Once you meet those faces, run and jump to the next blocks. Then, do a full jump onto the spikes. This is where our mushroom comes in handy. When you are approaching this pipe, do a full jump once Mario is about to meet this line on the ground. Next, do a full jump on the edge of this platform. When you jump to this area, bop the spider. Do not move onward until the falling spiders are out of your way. Right before the cannon, quickly hit this question mark block and grab the mushroom. Bop on this spider and do a big jump onto the spikes. Since bullet launchers take a second to shoot out a bullet bill, you can actually run through them in this game. Only if you're fast enough though. Run off this pipe and bonk on this pipe. Jump from the elevator to elevator over the final Koopa. "3-3 is a level where I usually don't hold anything at the start, since you have to jump almost as soon as Mario starts moving. If you start 3-3 at a dead stop, you'll have more time to react for jumping. Land on the very left edge of this elevator. About half a second after the top elevator begins to move downward, run and jump to it. After this pipe, do small jumps onto the rock, and then these blocks to jump over the piranha plant. Jump up here and run almost to the end of this first tile before turning around and jumping to the very top. Again, land on the left edge of this platform and wait until the top platform has started moving down before proceeding. There is an invisible block on the right side of this pipe, so make sure to jump on the very left edge of the pipe. Stop once Mario is on the halfway line of these two tiles. Once this first half of the platform to the right is underneath those blocks, run and jump to it. Then, land on the second platform. Hit the mushroom block, and then run under this rock. Jump as late as possible on these three question mark blocks to land on the far right side of the Battletoad and clear the gap. Damage boosts through the first two piranha plants in 4-1. Stand on the left edge of this platform, and once the platform at the top begins moving to the right, jump to it. Stay above these first two pairs of question mark blocks. Jump right before this Koopa and over the PNP. Quickly release and repress the run button to slow yourself down slightly before the next PNP. Jump over the PNP and land in between the two Koopa Troopas. Stop yourself at this pipe so that the jump up to this star block can be performed easier. At the second row of blocks, the last one will have a power-up in it. On these two platforms, jump on the very right edges of them. Try not to land too far to the right on this bullet launcher, since you may get hit by the Koopa Troopa. Land on these blocks and simply run off them. 4-2 is another level where I like to hold nothing for the sake of making the first jump easier. Damage boost through the first set of piranha plants and wait out the second set. Hit this first question mark block to grab the mushroom, and immediately use it to damage boost through the next part. Next, grab the star to plow through the rest of the level. If you're fast enough, it should last to the final piranha plant. If you happen to be small entering 4-2, jump on the last of these 4 blocks, just after these 2 question mark blocks. You will land directly on the Koopa Troopa and bounce into the question mark block that has a power-up. "4-3 is another auto-scrolling level. It's also the final level for each quest. Towards the end of the level, at this part, the very top block above the wall will have a mushroom in it, just in case you happen to be small here. Try to keep your mushroom past this cloud, just spam the crap out of it with bullets. For the Tango fight, position yourself on the 4th last dark line before the wall to the right. Once he starts shooting, you start shooting. In this game, there are 2 buttons you can shoot with in the auto-scrolling stages, and you can shoot really fast. Your invincibility frames, or iframes for short, should carry you through the fight assuming you spam the fire button fast enough. Like with 1-1 before, do a big jump onto this Goomba. You will bounce directly over the Koopa Troopa. After the 3 Goombas, you can run under this fly. At this next fly, run under him too. When doing these jumps, do slight slowdowns to help time your jumps easier. If you land on the second Goomba, you will land in between the 3rd and 4th Goombas. One 2 on hard mode is arguably the toughest stage in the whole game. After this first question mark block, do a big jump onto the Bun Bun. Jump in between these 2 Bun Buns, which will line you up to bounce off these 3 guys. As you're passing this Koopa and falling, release and repress B quickly so you can jump earlier on this tree. Jump over the Koopa and Goomba. Do a full jump on this small tree and stomp the Bum Bun. Jump right before the second Bun Bun and bounce off the remaining enemies. I recommend you hold the jump button for this part. At the end, do a full jump off these blocks, which will set you on top of this final Bun Bun. If you bounce on this Koopa Troopa, you will land on the final pipe here. Stand up against the right side of this pipe. Once this Koopa Troopa is about in the middle of the pipe, jump onto that pipe, and immediately jump again. Run off these blocks to land on this Gayo, and jump on top of this Gayo. Before you land, slow down by quickly releasing and repressing the run button. When you brush up on these blocks, hold left to stop yourself. Wait for the Goomba to come out, and then stop him. Bop the last 4 Gayos before the boss. Make sure to jump early on this platform so you don't accidentally brush on this Koopa Troopa. You won't go as high if you brush on an enemy versus doing a full jump, and won't be able to clear this gap. Replicate the same movements from 2-1 earlier for these next few parts. When you get to this line of fish, there will be an extra fish at the end, so be aware of that. When you run off this bridge, you will land on this Koopa Troopa, which is perfectly fine. Jump on this middle block here. Play the rest of the level pretty much the same as we went over in the previous 2-2. At these 4 question mark blocks, there is an extra Uraran Boo, so you may have to be a little bit slower with your jumps. The auto-scrolling levels such as 2-3 and 4-3 are nearly identical from their normal mode counterparts, except there are a lot more enemies, so be extra careful this time around. Remember, you don't have to actually fight the boss in this level, just break the blocks below and hit the button. Like before, you want to be Big Mario when entering 3-1. The mushroom is in the same spot as last time. When you get to this part, there will be 2 Koopa Troopas this time around, instead of 1. Remember to land on the ground after stomping the Koopas before proceeding. Play the next part the same as before. Once you arrive at this first row of coins, do a full jump upon grabbing the second last coin. You will land just before this Koopa Troopa. That jump can be really hard to time and will take some practice to get good at. Play the remainder of the level the same as before. If you land on this Koopa Troopa, you will bounce right over the spider. When you get to these 4 coins, jump in between the 3rd and 4th ones. Be mindful that you will have to jump immediately upon landing next to this Koopa. If you stomp this Koopa Troopa, you will bounce into the question mark block. Grab the mushroom like last time. Bounce on the spider and do a full jump onto the spikes. This time, land on top of the bullet bill cannon. Play the end of the level just like before. Most of 3-3 in hard mode is the same as in normal mode. When it's time to grab the mushroom, bop this Battletoads. Then, stomp this Koopa to bounce into the question mark block. Stand barely to the right of the dark line right after the question mark blocks, and wait until the rock goes over you to move onward. Play the remainder of the stage the same as before. After the two pairs of question mark blocks, you'll need to jump in between these two Koopa Troopas. It is a fairly tight jump to do successfully. Just like before, release and repress the run button quickly to slow yourself down before the PNP. After that, jump over these two question mark blocks. After grabbing the Power Star, play the rest of the level identically to 4-1 on normal mode. Remember to grab the mushroom along the way. At the beginning of 4-2, stomp on the right side of this pom-pom flower to land on these blocks. Jump on the left side of this platform to avoid brushing against the Koopa and potentially falling into the pit. Land on this first snake and jump over the next one. They will take a moment to shoot at you, so if you are quick, you can safely land on one without taking damage. Play the rest of 4-2 the same as before. Remember to grab the mushroom and star too. If you enter 4-2 on hard mode as Small Mario, the mushroom grab is a bit different. This time around, after landing on the pom-pom flower, jump over the Koopa Troopa as opposed to on it like before. Then, hit the question mark block and grab the power-up. As I mentioned in 2-3, 4-3 will be the same in hard mode as it is in normal mode, except for the increase in enemy population. Power-ups are in the same spots as before. Play the final 2 bosses the same as last time. The third last pipe does have a fist coming out of it, unlike before, so be careful of that. We have arrived at the end of the tutorial. That is everything you need to know on how to beat all of Super Mario Land in under 29 minutes. I will say, if you wanted to, you could possibly get a time of under 28 minutes with these same strategies, but the window for that is only a few seconds. I recommend setting a basic goal time of sub 29 with these strategies. One last thing before I go, I am still in the process of making my tutorial series. After this video, I only have one more tutorial left. I hope you're looking forward to it. Thanks for watching.